I call this leading to learn. So let's explore these each a little bit more. If we set goals that we know are achievable, we are not pushing ourselves to learn something new, to achieve something more. They need to be seemingly impossible, not actually impossible. And they need to be based on what is needed. Needed for your customers, needed for your people, needed for the work, needed for the world, talking about sustainability. What is needed? And then we figure out how can we achieve it. And this is where that learning mindset is so important, because in many of our organizations, we don't want to set seemingly impossible targets because either we're not going to get our bonus or you're going to be blamed if you don't reach the goal. But if we can have a mindset of learning and seeing this as actually the way that's going to accelerate innovation and problem solving, then we will achieve what seems to be impossible. A leader's role is to provide support. And there's so much more here. This is the support systems. This is the coaching. This is the development. This is the leader not just jumping in to give all the answers, but to help cultivate learning with their people. And what's really important here is that leaders need to own the thinking process, not the thinking. So this is where if you're giving somebody a problem as a development opportunity, but something that actually needs to happen at work as well, you can't rush in and do all of the problem solving, but you guide them through teaching, through coaching, through making sure they're going through the right process. And there's something really special here, and it's covered in my book as well, that this here is a stamp called a hanko. And this is Mr. Yoshino's the equivalent of his signature. And this stamp right here indicates that he, as the manager, oversaw the thinking process that John took. So he is taking responsibility for the completeness of the thinking. He didn't do the thinking, but he ensured that the person who was reporting to him that he was coaching had gone through the right process, and he was validating the outcome of the report. We have a responsibility to not just delegate problems, but to help support our people while they figure out how to reach that problem. And that's how we really are going to create learning in our organization. And we need to create the conditions for learning. And this is challenging because creating the conditions for learning requires us to both set a challenge and provide support, but to find the right tension for each person. What is enough of a challenge to stretch them into a new way of thinking, a growth, or a challenging, seemingly impossible goal? And then what's the right level of support that they need to create what's called the learning zone, that tension, that struggle that happens when we don't know the answer. And so we don't want to jump in and just rush in and give the answer, but we have to be okay with a little bit of that struggle that happens. You know this when you're learning a new sport, like you're trying to, learn how to hit a ball or something, and you're like, it's going to struggle and feel awkward. The same thing happens when we're solving problems or trying to figure out messy, complicated things in our organizations. So we have to be okay with a little of that struggle. And that's where that third part comes in. We have to develop ourselves as leaders, see ourselves as business conditions that also require improvement. If we want those results in our organization, we are functioning within the organization and our behaviors have a direct impact on those results. So we have to see ourselves as ongoing opportunities for improvement too.